Hello everyone, I'm Véronique from Vivamost, and I'm very, very happy today to welcome the founder and director of the Iranian Film Festival, Yadolah Dodge. Hello Yadolah, how are you doing?
Well, first of all, good morning, and I thank you for having me. I'm doing okay. It's my 87th day well, except for yesterday that I finally went out in my confinement. Apart from that, I'm okay. I'm doing fine.
That's great to hear. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
the sixth Iranian festival is starting in Zurich. And
Yes.
I was wondering, why did you feel the need to start an Iranian film festival, and why in the city of Zurich?
Well, as you know, just when you leave your homeland and you would like to move to another place, it's simple. You have to learn how the people of your new place are living. You should integrate yourself in many ways into their culture, so that living condition becomes much easier for you. I finished all my studies almost, apart from the basic one in Iran. I went to United States for my PhD, master, and PhD, of course. But then again, don't need to tell you the whole story of what happened in Iran. You know, there was many changes. So from United States, I came to Switzerland as a university, of course, professor in Neuchâtel. But then from Neuchâtel to Zurich, when I retired, the story was totally different. It's like another country again. So there they have a different culture, different system, different way of living. And here I wanted to know the city. I wanted to know where I am this time. It was almost 10 years ago. Then I thought the best way is either to just make a movie about these people. I went out for 4.5 years, put together a documentary called Tourism. This is Zurich. And then I just, 7 years ago, I came with the idea that why not even go further, open up a festival, because with that small window, the seventh hour, people can also see from where you come, your culture, how you eat, how you talk. Of course, in Iranian movies, there is no love scene, so that is not there. And what are our stories? So with that note, I thought it's the best way. Maybe people can go to other branches of art, such as painting exhibitions, photo exhibitions, dancing. But cinema, I think, is in many ways is the reflections of all put together, especially the way that they tell their stories. Books are another story, that like novels, but novels, paintings, all of them can be summarized in a brilliant way in cinema in the seventh hour. So this is why this is our sixth edition, the very first one. So this is, to me, is building a bridge, integrate and let them also be integrated into the same boat. So it's a two-way street. Mine, I'm here, I can live, I can see, but people who cannot go to your country or they are not traveling, they can travel to your cinema, to your films. In that case, so you can tell them.
Okay, so that's what's the goal with the festival to.
The goal is just to make a bridge between culture that I have with residents of Switzerland. When I say residents, this is a country with almost you have all the nations present. And then, so this way, it would be easier for me to say, I'm coming from Iran. And then when it comes, so maybe that person saw one of the movies, he said, I know.
Yes. So how many people have visited the festival so far?
Well, it every year varies, but we are almost always, it's a very special type of cinema. It's an art films and subtitles. That's another story that not too many people would like to read, but people who are cinema goers or loving cinema, we are almost 2,000. We are around that number so far because we will see at the end of this year, because now this year it's a different story. There is no need to have only one room from any of these cinemas. It's totally different story. And then maybe at the end of the 7 days, if all goes well, we will tell you a different maybe statistic.
Okay. So you must be really disappointed that this year you won't show the film in the cinemas. Many festivals have been cancelled, and you made the decision not to cancel, but to show the film at home. Everybody can register for free on IranianFilmFestival.ch. The festival is starting tomorrow and will be until next week on June the 3rd. But how did you decide not to cancel and to go on? And how did you make this decision?
Decision always come from one statement that is that how much is the price of a Sunday? That is, to me, is that culture has no price. You cannot tag it. And especially right now, because there is these restrictions, we all need to contribute to make life easier. And, coming to this land with all the things that are there, it's, So you can see all this beauty, it's just, this is just a gift. I must say it, that honest, this is a gift to live in a place. You can see it yourself because you are also in here. Everything is there. So you need in this time to give something back. I thought a lot about that. Okay, we can cancel it, but let us put more love and care, and let us see what does it give. I made it because we would like to share it, because culture has no price, and when you are in the middle of bridge building, you better continue building this bridge, because there is no need to, and then they need it most right now. The people are, the families at home. Still we are in confinement in some ways, still things are not normal. Still people are not can travel to another country, let's say that around Switzerland, you cannot go to France, maybe you can go, but you cannot come back so easily. We know all these things, so better give them a gift in return for all the beauty that they gave you. And that is important, was important, it still is important for me, that I just want to provide them with something, a minimum that I can do. I'm not talking about my teaching times and, what I wrote, that was another story. It was the same kind of thinking, to give when you take. This is why I went on air. I hope things work out correctly, a little bit, we are all those people who were in love with this métier, such as for technical man who put all together Armin Apadana, that I'm grateful for him for all these 3 months that we are working on it. The other member of the team, the Iran Riahi, as well as this Clara Kult, and all of them. So Au revoir will be on the third day when all is of June, when all is over and people are happy. And that's what gift back.
Well, I'm happy you could do that.
Well, we are very, very pleased that everything works correctly. So, and nothing changed except because we do have the jury members.
Yes.
They saw the movies. So everything is exactly, except, people are not sitting one by each other because of the conditions that we all know that is unfortunately govern all of us right now.
So can you tell us a little bit about the jury members, how you select them and who are the jury members for the 6th edition?
How you select the juries is by just discussing with people who are in the field. As always, it has been the case, you choose some people who know the cinema, I should say very well. And you also think about the public, because you should not put all your accent on people who know the form of a film or the technicality or everything about how a film should be made. Otherwise, I always have a journalist, and so I do have a journalist that origin is coming from Brazil, but living in Zurich. I do have probably one of the best the filmmakers that you can find in this country, woman. As a filmmaker, I have one which is a professor of filmmaking, and I have two persons who are also fine, educated person, but they are not necessarily in the field of cinema. So all 5 people for the feature film, we have 11 films in competition. Most of these films has not been released at all, such as Yalda, the Night of Forgiveness. It's going to be here shown later on in Switzerland, all of them practically. And we do have variety of different films. I tell you if you have time about the selection. And then we have 3 jury members for the shorts. We have also 9 films